It's that time of year. It is October, actually mid-October. We just hit the teen days, if you will. Today is the 12th of October, and we are getting closer and closer to big releases in video games. We're getting closer to Halloween, which I love. And it is that time of year to sit down and watch scary movies like Michael Myers, in the Halloween series, Freddy Krueger in the Nightmare on Elm Street, Jason Voorhees in the Friday the 13th series, Chucky in Child's Play. You get the motherfucking point. What we're talking about today, you guys, is which is better, Michael Myers from Halloween. And I will say, excuse me, I will say right away that, of course, I think Michael Myers is better. I usually don't get I do give you guys my opinion in this, but I like you guys to make up your own mind. You don't have to comment. You can just say to yourself what you think's better. But if you comment, hey, you can share with who you think's better. So which is better, Michael Myers from the Halloween series, Jason Voorhees from the Friday the 13th series. Sorry, I just kind of get mixed up with Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Child. I mean, you have so many of them, So, of course, we'll go over both of them. So we'll start with Jason. Jason Voorhees was a deformed child who was drowned. Oh, warning, spoilers. If you have not seen any of these movies and you want to see them, and you don't want to be spoiled, now is the time to leave. Anyway, Jason was drowned as a child. He drowned as a child at Camp Crystal Lake because the what are they called? The camp counselors, I believe they were referred to, weren't watching him. They were too busy having sex, doing drugs, like marijuana, etc., etc. And initially he drowned because of the lack of care from the counselors. He couldn't swim. I believe he was pushed into the lake by a kid or some shit. I can't really remember every detail. And initially he drowned. So his mom comes back in the first movie for revenge. You think it's Jason the whole time, but it's actually his mother. She comes back to get revenge, but oddly enough, none of these counselors, if I remember correctly, none of these counselors are even counselors. They're just a bunch of teens that went there for a little fun getaway from their parents, to do pretty much what the counselors did: smoke weed, have sex, etc., etc. And what initially happened was his mom returned for revenge and wanted to kill all these counselors for what they had done to her son. And she kills them all off, basically. And at the very end of the first movie, it's revealed that it's his mother and not actually him, even though this whole time you think it's Jason. And she gets decapitated with, you guessed it, a machete. So in the second movie, we finally get Jason with a bag over his head. He dons the machete in that as soon as that movie. And it's not until part 3 that we actually get Jason in the hockey mask. But overall, it's a really good series. Not every movie was great. The first one was good for its time. It's a little cheesy. It's a bit cheesy now, as well as the first few of them. There was a few of them that were just really kind of really, really weak, but they were still watchable. I actually have them all on DVD. Here, I'll show you. I actually have this pack. You can't buy this anymore. See, there's all the movies. Well, it's not all of them. It's part 1 to 6. Oh, no, it's not. Part 1 to 8. Yeah, they're mixed up. Sorry. So you have all the way to Jason Takes Manhattan. You don't have Jason Goes to Hell, though, where it's pretty much announced that Freddy vs. Jason is coming up. Can you work with me, movies? So, anyway, initially, that's what happens, So, through the movies, he's just killing people. He finally goes to New York. That was kind of entertaining, but in my opinion, he didn't kill enough people. I mean, come on, you're in the Big Apple. You have all these people at your disposal. And he doesn't kill anybody except for the 2 people he's chasing, the guy and the girl. So it's kind of stupid, but it was a good movie. Jason Goes to Hell was really good. Why they didn't include it in that pack, I don't know. Maybe it was a dispute with the company that made it, or maybe they just didn't want to make one DVD for one movie. I don't know the reason, but it's not in there regardless. Okay, so now on to Halloween. Michael Myers, of course, is my favorite of all time. He's my favorite slasher. I like him more than anybody. I like him more than Freddy Krueger, Jason, Chucky, Ghostface from Scream, Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You name it, I like him better. And Pinhead and the Cenobites. That must be one of the dogs. Weird. Cenobites from Hellraiser, you name it, I like him better. And the reason, Michael, in the first movie, he kills his sister at 6 years old. The reason I like Michael so much, I'll get to that in a minute, but the backstory. He kills his sister at 6 years old. What the fuck is that noise? Hold on. Okay, we're fine. I think maybe one of my dogs is trying to get in a room. I don't know. Okay, anyway, continuing. Sorry, guys. So Michael kills his sister at 6 years old. Sorry I had to repeat that a third time. Goes into a mental asylum for, I believe, it was 15 years. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm right. 15 years. And he's tried to be reached by Dr. Sam Lewis. Dr. Loomis. And Michael initially isn't reachable, as later in the film he explains to Sheriff Brackett in the original film, and from 1978, of course. And so anyway, Michael initially escapes in the beginning of the first movie after they show you that it's been 15 years later, blah blah blah, and he escapes to go after his sister, his last surviving sister, Laurie Strode. And of course she's not Laurie Myers, as she was adopted by the Strode family, and the Strode couple, I should say. She didn't have any brother or sisters, or stepbrother or sisters, whatever. And he comes back, and on Halloween 1978 is the worst night of her life. He tries to kill her, he kills all of her friends, and plus some in the process, and initially she is able to survive. She's taken to the hospital. Then the second movie picks up from there. I'm not going to go over every movie. You guys probably know all about it. The reason I like Michael so much is because Michael Myers was such an interesting story, and it wasn't just left unexplained like in the Rob Zombie remakes. Why Michael is unkillable and why he wants to kill everybody. The reason is because of the rage, and it's explained so well throughout all the movies. Between Halloween 1 to 5, it is explained so well why Michael is the way he is. And the reason is because he has all this evil, and it hurts. Basically, is what we're pretty much told by Loomis, is that it hurts him if he doesn't kill people. And he just wants to end the rage. He just wants to make it go away. In that famous line by Dr. Loomis, his rage. I wish I could actually do a respectable impression of Dr. Loomis, Donald Pleasance, because he was such a good actor, rest his soul. And it was just such a cool story. Michael needed to kill to keep the rage away. He just wanted to end it, and the only way to do so is to kill every member of his family. And while Michael was unstoppable, it was just something that he had such a hard time accomplishing, basically, because he could really never kill everybody. Laurie Strode got away in both Halloween 1 and 2. Halloween 4, then he's after his niece because because her mom died in a car crash, which in H2O you find out is bullshit, even though they don't even mention everything else in Halloween 4, 5, and 6. So then in Halloween 4, 5, and 6, he chases after Laurie Strode's daughter, Jamie Lloyd. He ends up killing her in the 6th movie as an adult, but her son lives, and then he's chasing the baby, and then I guess they just decided, Halloween H2O 20 years later. So then they erase all that. Then he comes back 20 years after the 2nd movie and goes after Jamie Lee Curtis. Just great movies. Absolutely great. I think all of them were really, really well done to a point. I mean, some of them were weak. Halloween 4 and 5 were kind of weak. Halloween 8 was extremely weak. But I think other than those, with those exceptions, the rest were really, really well done and really, really fun to watch on creepy nights. And definitely movies you want to check out. If you have not seen Halloween, get the fuck out from under that rock and go see those movies. They are awesome. Scary, but awesome. Anyway, guys, this is the Keith Carnes. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I will see you guys again as soon as this Sunday with a new episode in my next series. So anyway, this is the Keith Carnes. Hope you guys enjoyed the show, and I will see you guys in the next. And let me know who you think's better,